Hello and welcome to my first video with 2020 vision. So a quick introduction, my eyesight was terrible. I got glasses back in year 4. I had pink glasses and I wore them for about 3 or 4 years. I then upgraded to a tortoiseshell set, and then because I'm a creature of habit I stuck with them. So you might recognize this pair. If you're a glasses wearer and you don't have these little ear cuffs, I would highly recommend, because they stop the glasses falling down your face. Anyway, so there are a few reasons why I decided to get laser eye surgery. Playing sports is a nightmare. You can't swim with them, you can't see, you get sweaty, your glasses fall down your face. But also my sister got laser eye surgery last year. So she was 22 when she got it, I am 21. My eyesight, prepare yourself, I've never told even my closest friends. My eyesight is -7.25 in both eyes, but then I've got a really high astigmatism. So when they're calculating how bad your eyes are, they add them together. So mine was -2 in my left eye and -1.5. So it was kind of like -9, -8.5, 9. So the risks were significantly higher for me than they were for my sister. I think my sister was like -5 or something like that max. And I think when you go past a -6 threshold, it jumped up from like a 1% risk that you won't get 20/20 vision to a 7% risk. Something that a few of you guys asked, if you have high prescription, do you have to get the surgery again and again to fix it? No, they hope to do it in one surgery. If something goes wrong, which luckily it didn't, the company that I was with would do free top-ups. However, the second time round, the risk that you wouldn't get 20/20 vision would be double that. So I might be 14%, and then after that it'll be 28%, and then they just wouldn't do it. So both my sister and I got LASIK with an I, not an E. For LASIK, the top layer of the front of the eye, so the cornea, is cut out to form a flap. The flap is then folded back. The laser is then used to remove a layer of tissue. This changes its curvature by reducing the cornea's thickness centrally, and then the flap is replaced. So starting with pre-surgery, I had my checkups and like my appointments to see if I was able to have the surgery at Optimax in Brighton. Now, because my astigmatism was so high, they asked if I would come to London, and luckily I study in London, so that was kind of perfect, because the machines that they had in Brighton wouldn't be able to do my astigmatism as well. So I ended up being at the Finchley Road branch of Optimax, and weirdly my neighbour had actually done the same because she also had a high astigmatism. I chose Optimax because that was the company that my sister had done it with, and they were also doing a COVID discount at the time, which I think was like £200 off. So for the pre-surgery appointment, you basically come in and you sign a form that's basically signing away your vision. But this appointment, I had 7 different tests and they were not easy. So the worst one by far is the one where they puff air into your eye to see the pressure, because they need to make sure that you have high enough pressure, and then when they do the tests after, to see if the pressure is still the same and that it's not been affected. They also had the normal hot air balloon one where you see the hot air balloon go in and out of focus. They had this weird psychedelic kind of red thing, and it looks like a Coke can in the middle. The one thing at the end, they put in these eye drops, which kind of makes everything a little bit blurry and slightly disorientated. It's like, you know when you open an oven and your glasses steam up, it's like that. It's also like, you know when you've had your contacts in all day and you take them out and everything kind of moves a bit slower with your glasses. A bit of those two mixed together. Luckily, I passed the consultation and that was all good. When I was younger, I had my optician in Specsavers basically tell me that, oh, I was rubbing my eyes really hard, but it wasn't affecting my eye prescription. Things like dust mites and animals would always get me, and so I'd itch my eyes really hard. At night, it would always be worse. The optometrist there was like, yes. It's more common in Asian eyes apparently, where the flap is a little bit thinner or something like that, and if after the surgery I rub my eyes, then there could be irreversible damage. And also if I continue to rub my eye and didn't even get the surgery, there can be irreversible damage from like the pressure or something like that. So after my eye consultation, I stopped rubbing my eyes. But yes, then we move on to surgery day.
So today is the big day. It is quite early. I'm surprised my eyes are actually this awake. I think it's adrenaline. This is the last time you're going to see me with glasses, potentially for quite a while. I am going to shut these curtains before we go, because apparently you're not going to want to be in a bright room. You're going to want it to be dark. Close.
Star anise is good for numbness, is it?
Yeah. Normally of the mouth, but
my mouth went numb actually from the drops that they put in my eye. Surgery only takes 10 minutes, but we were there from 8:45 till 12.
Oh yeah, what we did is we stuck these in the fridge so that they're really cold when I put them in my eye, which is really nice. Thank you very much. No problemo.
The number one question that you guys asked me, was it painful? And the answer is yes. They do put in numbing drops, but I did leave crying. And I should also say here that when I used to put in my contact lenses, I would do it without like touching my eye because I didn't really like doing that. And taking it out, I would use my eyelids rather than like scraping down because I'm not good at touching my eye, and I found eye drops really hard when I was younger and I was trying to do that for hay fever. If there's one thing I knew before going to the surgery, it would be about this whole situation with the clamp. So that was the most traumatizing part. My sister had mentioned it briefly, being like, oh yeah, they clamp your eyes to make it pop out. It was so painful. And I think because I wasn't good at putting in the eye drops, the kind of numbing was more on my eyelashes, or like I could feel it, that's all. But you can't speak when this is going on because if you move your mouth, you're going to move your eyes, and you have to look straight. And there was a lot like, can you see this? And I was like, no, I can't. Like, it was, that part was a little bit traumatizing. It still would sometimes get slight PTSD, especially that day when I came back. If you saw my surgery video when I had my ACL done, you would have seen me kind of crying like that. Just imagine the same for this.
Sometimes when you have an operation, your body produces hormones.
Yeah, that's good, that's normal. I'm so tired.
To allow your body to recover, and it's called the stress response to surgery. It can, as a side effect, make you feel a little bit despondent for a couple of days.
Oh, but you look beautiful, darling.
So don't worry if you suddenly feel a little bit sort of like a bit tearful.
You do, you look very nice, darling. Your makeup's still there, don't ruin it.
It's normal.
But to be fair, I think my ACL surgery was better. I remember that day I was like, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone who doesn't like things in their eye. What was weird is that I paid people to really inflict pain on me, but also now I can see, and I don't take it for granted, like waking up in the morning and seeing it's raining all the time in London, and like I don't have the rain on my glasses and I can see. I mean, granted, I've got to be really careful that I don't get rain in my eye for infections and stuff, but I don't want to be gross. It kind of felt like my eyes were going to pop open with the pressure. And that was really grim, and I could also feel the clamps kind of like scratching at my eyeball, which is why I had this kind of red, I'll insert the photos, rings around my eyes. My sister actually had that as well. My sister had quite a funny, not funny, my sister had quite an interesting experience because she was a lot more nervous than me. I was not nervous, but because she was shaking so much, the laser actually turned off, which is good. It has eye tracking in it so that it doesn't make a mistake, but it meant that they then had to re-turn on the machine, and that's why she had really deep bruising. Luckily mine wasn't as deep, I'd say, but it was on both eyes and it was around, and they were really, really sore. For the rest of that day, I stayed in my bed. My sister was like, you're not gonna wanna cook, so we ordered in Tai Fung for dinner, and that was so, so nice. It was a proper treat. I felt so rubbish. My head really, really hurt. So something I found is I've had a couple of headaches, like quite strong headaches since the surgery. It kind of feels like your eyes are drilling into your brain. So a couple of nights I took paracetamol to help me go to sleep, but the first day I did not need any help. I went back the next day for my little follow-up checkup, and it was really red, and they were like, yeah, you can't really see yet, but like you can kind of see. It feels like I do have contact lenses in, but it's the second day. We are heading to our, well, my checkup. We're gonna get in the taxi to Finchley Road. Well, hello. I'm actually slowly getting better at doing the eye drops and kind of learning how to roll them into my eye and how to get them to spread out. I'm just kind of resting in the dark a lot. Luckily, Mei-Ying's been here pretty much all weekend. We went out for a nice lunch. Duck and Rice, the restaurant, is really dark inside, so that was perfect. I didn't want to be rude, but I did keep my sunglasses on inside. I took them off briefly, and then I think they saw my red eyes and were like, oh, okay, you can, like, you know, keep your glasses on. It's a bit gross. So I've basically spent this weekend listening to Naira Rivera's podcast. Well, she did an audiobook of her book, and that's like 6 hours long, so that was perfect. I listened to while my sister watched The Phantom of the Opera. That was good because it's basically just music for 3 hours or something, an hour and a half, and I've just been watching some classic films, so I know what's happening and I can hear it. I don't have to see it. These curtains are permanently closed, and I'm just wearing my sunglasses inside basically all day long. So that's the update. So something that you can get is photophobia. You're not scared of photos and you're not scared of the light, but it's just that your eyes are really sensitive to the light. So walking at nighttime is really hard because the lights on the cars and the street lamps are really bright, but you can't really see in the dark. What I compare it to is wearing your contacts for too long, so you know when they feel dry and your eyes kind of ache. I kind of wanted to take out my contacts but I couldn't, so I just put in loads of eye drops. So they gave me 4 different types of eye drops and then some refresh ones which I would just put in. They're basically like fake tears to make your eyes feel a little bit more moist. On each box they labelled them left and right so that I remember which ones, because you don't want cross-contamination. So these are Exosin, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but you had to do these every 2 hours for the first day and then 4 times a day for the next week. And then these ones are called FML, and you would do these every 2 hours for the first day, and then you did them 1 drop 4 times a day for 10 days. So these lasted a little bit longer. For 1 day I had metacane, which was an anaesthetic, so that was used to reduce the feeling of discomfort. So my sister said that when she had her surgery it kind of felt like grit in her eye, so it's really dry. Luckily I didn't get that, but that could be a symptom for you maybe. Along with the eye drops they give you a whole aftercare kit on basically don't rub your eyes. You have 1 week until you can do jogging, aerobic exercise and yoga and Pilates, 1 month for a sauna, steam room and swimming and football and non-contact martial arts. I was a little bit confused because of the steam and sauna room being 1 month. When I wash I have a very hot bath, so I've basically just been having cooler baths, average warm temperature, and basically just making sure that I don't touch my face. I've been trying to wash my chin because I really want to wash my face and my eyes, because one thing they don't tell you about these eye drops is that they make your eyelashes quite crusty. I've had a lot of eyelashes lost in the past 2 weeks. I'd say a solid 20-30 eyelashes have come out in kind of clumps, which is really sad to see because I worked hard to grow those. So I had my checkup the day after. I had my 2-week checkup yesterday, and I've got one in 3 weeks time, and then I'll have one at the 3-month mark. They put in the yellow drops to see your tear ducts and how much they work. Basically I just need to put in more eye drops for myself, but I actually do have 20/20 vision now. They didn't check anything further than that, so when my sister had the surgery she actually had better than 20/20 vision, which is really cool. But I think because my eyesight was so bad before, they were like, you probably won't be able to get that. I think it had gone past the point, so I was like, fair enough. I'm just happy to be able to see. But something I find quite funny is that since having laser eye surgery I've actually been wearing more glasses than before. So for the first day in those vlogs you will see me just wearing these sunglasses. Now you are going to need to bring sunglasses with you to the surgery. You will be in so much pain with the light afterwards, and you should also maybe bring a friend with you to drive you home or help you get home. We got a taxi home because yeah, I couldn't walk because I couldn't see. So sunglasses with UVA and UVB. This pair of glasses is my blue light glasses, so when I'm staring at my computer screen, you're meant to take regular breaks. With uni it is quite hard, but I'm trying to force myself to do that every hour. This basically helps reflect the blue light. It helps you go to sleep, which is good. I also have these. These are pinhole glasses. So I used to have these when I was younger to kind of help train my eyes to be better with focusing on things. I can still see you perfectly clearly. It basically just helps filter out all the unfocused light rays. At night time I wear these eye shields because a few nights ago I thought, oh you know what, I'll give it my first go without wearing them, and I rubbed my eye. Luckily at that point it had been about 2 weeks and they said you've done most of your healing by that time, but it was like, you know when you're in a lucid dream it feels like you're rubbing your eyes in your dream, and then I was like, no, I'm actually doing it in real life. And luckily I wasn't doing it hard, it was kind of like a slow tired one, but anyway. I thought I had just wasted thousands of pounds. These are little eye goggle glasses that I wore basically the whole first day just to stop any dust coming in and also to stop you rubbing your eyes. I ran out of the micro tape a few days ago, so I just went to Boots and I picked up some more. Again, this stuff, something no one tells you is how sticky this is. So it is literally like waxing your face every morning when you pull it off. I didn't realise I had that many face hairs. I mean, I can't see them, but I can feel them when they come off my face. It was quite funny as well. My flatmate was like, oh, you're alive, a week after, because I basically come back from uni and I just sit in the dark. I close my curtains and just lie in the dark for the rest of the evening because it was all that my eyes wanted to do. So grateful that these curtains are thick because otherwise I would have been a bit screwed. I did also email my professors basically saying I'm going to be wearing sunglasses in our classroom. I don't want to be disrespectful, but just a heads up, and they were totally fine with that. So my payment plan is in instalments, so 0% APR of £240.83 per month for 12 months. A Apparently normally it would cost £3,590, and they said this is a flat rate, so no matter what your eyesight is, they're not going to charge you more just for having the laser on for a few more seconds. But because of the discount, it was £3,390. It is a lot of money, but hopefully it's an investment for the long term. If you found the video helpful, then please do give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for weekly videos on this channel, and I'll see you next week. Have a lovely day. Bye.